Texas, where FishBowl Radio Network is located. 36 degrees in Grand Rapids, Michigan, the former home of the Baseman Show with Nate Miller. I have my good friend Justin Chifici on the line. How are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing today, Mr. Nate?
Good. It's been a while.
Yeah, man, it has. Last baseball season, I think we talked some and went through the season, and here we are again, my brother.
Right. This is the third time that you've called in. One more, and you tie our good friend Jimmy Morris.
Oh man, that's some tough shoes to fill right there now.
Right. So how you been doing, man?
Doing pretty good, man. You know, just day to day. You know, just taking it all in stride, and you know, moving pretty good. Moving pretty good, man.
Yeah. So it's that time of year. All right. Now, you have a new foundation. You and your wife have a new foundation that you're working on, the Brady James Chifici Sports Foundation. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir, you did. That's correct. We're working on a foundation right now that's going to eventually, once we get moving really well, and it's taken off pretty good thus far, we're going to help with disabled children in every aspect. Mm-hmm. As far as medical expenses, anything that the children need, as far as medical equipment, you know, any therapies, anything of that nature. Sure. We're definitely shooting towards helping families and helping these children to have a better life in general. Mm-hmm. We are also envisioning a baseball complex designated for disabled children, for them to come out and enjoy the sport of baseball. Yeah. And, you know, every child needs to come out and enjoy, you know, a great sport such as baseball. And through our foundation, we're going to donate a percentage of every benefit that we go to, and we'll designate a portion of that benefit towards the baseball park to get it built. And, you know, once we do that, we're going to be in full stride at that point.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Sounds like things are progressing rather quickly.
Yes, sir. They are. Lamar Dixon Expo Center right here in our town, a huge complex that holds many, many good events. I just left them about 30 minutes ago, and they're going to host the one on the 22nd, which should be pretty big, and that's going to generate some income to help out some of these families that are in the surrounding area, and also outside our surrounding area. We've got a lot of contacts right now. We're working with Children's Hospital in New Orleans and also the Tulane Hospital in New Orleans as well. So we got some good things going, man, and you know, it's all about children. It's all about bettering children's lives and making sure that they're taken care of, especially disabled children. Sure. Because a lot of that stuff's pretty expensive, and some families struggle with that. So yeah, we're definitely here to help.
That's great. That's great. Is a website in the works?
Sir? Is
a website in the works?
We have a Facebook page as of now, but we're working on a website as we speak. We've got some people. I got a good friend of mine who's actually a computer genius. He builds these things, so he knows all the ins and outs. And I got him looking at building some websites and things of that nature, and so we can take this and extend out further than what we are right here in Louisiana. So we've got some good people on our side and working for us. So, you know, we've got some great things about to happen.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. That is awesome. It sounds like a really good thing that you're doing there.
Yeah, we were, you know, like I said before, with baseball, we did a lot of work with the children, and, you know, New Orleans Hospital, Tulane, we done great things. And then after my son passed, I just had this feeling that, you know what, it's just something that I need to do even more now. So, sure. You know, it's lit a fire in me, and you know, I have a vision, and that's where I want to go with it. And, right. You know, it's always a good thing. I mean, not everybody is as fortunate as other people, people do their best day in and day out to try to provide for their families, and sometimes it's just not enough. And I have the means to do it, and so that's what's going to happen.
That's awesome. Now, you mentioned the baseball. Are you going to do anything with any other sports, or is it specifically going to be baseball?
Oh, it'll be any sport. I've got some friends that play soccer. I've got one softball. We can play flag football. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We'll have a baseball field, but it'll be all-purpose field. So we're gonna do lots of things, not just so much baseball, but sports in general. And that's where we're headed. That's where we're headed.
Got it. Yeah. So, and how long has this been in the works?
This is a vision I've had for a while, but more so now we've really been full steam ahead for the last, in my mind, since we got an inclination of something that could be wrong with Brady. So we wasn't sure. For about 4 weeks before we actually found out that he had spina bifida. But this was something I've been brewing up for a while now. So, up to this point, it's balled up pretty good. So I've got the ball rolling real well.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of good people backing us up. I got a great team. My father-in-law, Mark Babin, he's relentless in helping out. My buddy Terry Bro, who plays ball with me, he cooks also, and we've got a boatload of cooks that's lined up ready to go. So we're gonna cook some old Southern food, and we're gonna make some things happen down here in South Louisiana.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but this is all music to my ears because I have cerebral palsy myself.
Wow. Yeah.
So
yeah.
When I found out you were doing this, I really wanted to get you on the show.
Oh, absolutely, man. Anything we can do to help, Nate, you know my number, man. You know my number.
Yep. So anyway, but yeah, it sounds like an extraordinary journey that you're about to embark on.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of work, but you know what? It's all worth it, man. Yep. It really is. And, it's not a better feeling in the world going to sleep at night knowing that you're helping children.
Sure.
And like I said, it's whatever God's plan was with Brady, it is, and we can't question that. Mm-hmm. So we've got to make something positive happen from this, and that's just the way it is. Right. I've got to make something happen from this, and that's what I'm on my way to do right now. So
right on.
We're gonna see it through.
Right on. Now, for those that may not know, Brady is your son.
Yeah, Brady was our unborn son. He was 30 weeks in the womb, and we found out he had spina bifida. We didn't know how bad it was, and unfortunately, it was pretty bad enough to take his life. So we tried to do what we could. We went up to Tampa, Florida, got a team of doctors together, and decided we were going to try to do a procedure in utero.
Sure.
So, with the swelling on his brain and all that, and he's had some nerves exposed, and so it was kind of pulling down his brain, and that's ultimately what got Brady. Uh-huh. We were going to do the procedure, and he wound up passing away, I think, 4.5 hours before we could actually get the procedure done. It was a long shot, but you've got to do that. You can't just sit back and say, "Hey, look, we're gonna hope for the best," because that doesn't always work. So we felt that we had to do something, and that's what we tried to do. And unfortunately, God had other plans, and he's our little angel now. So it's just one of those things we're gonna have to live with the rest of our lives. But again, we're going to turn something positive into this. So, it's always good when a tragedy becomes something positive. And to me, there's nothing more you can do than to take his name, make a foundation, and help children with disabilities in Brady's honor. And to me, there's no amount of money that's worth that. I mean, you could go on and on about a lot of different things, but something like that is priceless. It really is.
Sure. So, well, I'm not going to let you go just yet, but I wanted to wish you good luck with that, sir.
I sure appreciate that, Nate. Thank you very much.
No problem. Now, kind of wanted to change the subject, move on to something positive. The last time I talked to you, the Cubs were still under their curse. They're not anymore.
Oh, man. No.
So
I tell you what, that was one series that will be long not forgotten, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. There were so many ups and downs in that series. It was incredible.
Yeah.
It really was. It was incredible.
Yeah.
The rain delay and then, it's just so many variables that came into that. Zobrist with the shot towards third base line.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's basically what sparked everything off, and it was incredible. And look, I'm going to say it on air right now. I had did them in, Nate. I had did them in.
Yep.
I said, man, it don't look good. I almost turned the TV off and went to bed. So, I hung in there, and like I said, I'm glad I did because they pulled off an unbelievable feat.
How do you think you would have felt the next day if you had gone to bed that night?
Ooh, Nate, I'd have been upset. I'd have been pretty mad with myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd have been pretty upset with myself. It'd have been pretty bad. I'm glad I hung in there, man. I stayed up till I probably stayed up till almost 2:30 that morning with excitement. I couldn't get to sleep.
Right.
I felt like I felt part of that because I've been a Cubs fan since back in the late '70s.
Mm-hmm.
6 or 7 years old. I remember, watching them on TV and, with Harry Carey and Steve Stone in the early 80s and the Hawk, Dawson and Lee Smith and the crew, and I don't know, just something about that team. And I just followed them all these years and I got pretty close with them all a few years back and the infamous foul ball and all that good stuff. So, but I'm glad to see them win it, and I'm pretty sure that organization will be back again for a second trip.
Oh yeah, especially with Theo and Joe Madden at the helm.
Oh wow, unbelievable duo! Unbelievable duo. That organization is been come a long way from where they were, years ago.
Yeah.
The players itself. The better equipment, better training facilities, more knowledge on the sport. They got computers now. The swings are computer generated. There's bats designed for every ounce, compared to their swings. There's shoes now that, they take an infinite of foot and the best shoes available. There's a lot of things that has changed over the years, technology-wise.
Yep.
So a lot of players, they have top-notch equipment to work with and trainers and what have you. So, the game's evolved so much in 10 years. It's incredible. It really is.
Yeah. And the fact that they can do this with such a small space as Wrigley Field is incredible. Such a small space and such an old space, too.
Oh, absolutely. We were actually going to go up for the series, and we found out that, the ticket prices, and we wouldn't be able to get into the. It was a lot of stuff we would have had to deal with. So we probably wouldn't have got within 4 or 5 blocks of the stadium anyway. So
yeah.
Especially going out there without any tickets, So we were just going to take a chance, but then we kind of decided maybe we need to just stay home and watch it on TV. And I'm kind of glad we did. We had some good seats at home.
Right. So, and it would have taken forever to get out of that celebration.
Oh man, I tell you what, it'd have been nice. It'd have been nice to see it, but then again, it was nice to watch it on TV because you got to see everything. We wouldn't have. We probably could have listened to it on the radio up there or something, or one thing or another. But it was incredible. It really was, and it's a World Series I won't ever forget.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah. Well, it won't be one that I will soon forget either. And actually, 2 or 3 days after it ended, I met our friend Jimmy Morris in person.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You sure did. That's right. You sure did. I remember seeing that. That's awesome.
Yep.
I bet that was an experience. I gotta get with Jimmy sooner or later here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He's actually taller than I thought he was.
Oh yeah, Jimmy's probably. I think Jimmy's what, about 6'3", 6'2", 6'3" right now.
Something like that. I was like, I hadn't seen his stats in a while. I didn't know he was that tall.
Yeah, he's got some length on him,
yep.
And I'm kind of short and stocky, so I've got to exert 4 times as much to throw a ball off the mound rather than somebody that's 6'3", 6'4" and a half. So it's height plays a big part in it. You can stretch on out of it. Once you bend that back and release, you halfway to the plate.
Yep. And I know you've talked to him over Facebook and such, but once you meet him in person, you won't want to leave. He is one of the nicest guys you have ever met in your life.
I imagine. His whole family is just a blessing. I mean, they really are.
Yeah.
And for what he's doing with his foundation, and I mean, he's an inspiration. He really is. I mean, the whole family, those guys. I look up to people like that. I mean, I really do. It's an amazing thing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And and by no means my name is nowhere near Jimmy's, but Jimmy, to take that fame he had and to use that, man, that's unbelievable. Look how many people that leave the sport that played 20 years, 20 years in the sport, and vanish off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Jimmy comes in, was a high school teacher. 6 months later, he's on the mound at Arlington Park.
Yeah.
Plays a couple years. Well, he went his stint in the minors, plays a couple years, and then just that. I mean, could you imagine if Jimmy would have played 20 years?
He would be. He would be Hall of Fame worthy.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, so it's he. I mean, the guy is a godsend. He really is.
Mm-hmm. And the cool thing about that whole day was he and his wife actually came to my place and got me for the event that they were holding.
Wow, man, that's great.
Yeah.
That is great, man. That is really great. That's awesome. That's good stuff right there. Yeah, man. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, like once I saw him get out of the car, I'm like, that's Jim Morris. That's Jim Morris.
Yeah.
And I was like, and the crazy thing is, he offered me the front seat. And I'm like, no, you take the front seat. I will sit in the back. I will sit in the back. So I'm like, and the whole time, I couldn't stop looking at him. I'm like, that's Jim Morris.
Yeah, man. I tell you, man, he's man. I tell you what, he really is a blessing. I mean, that guy's unbelievable. I mean, for what he's doing, I mean, it's just unmatched. It really is. It really is. And
he really got a kick out of the fact that I live about 10 minutes from where he made his debut.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Beautiful ballpark. Beautiful.
Yep. And I'm right down the street from it right now as we speak.
Oh, man, that's awesome. That really is awesome. Yeah, I need to make it to Wrigley Field. I've never been there. You see, that's the thing. And my biggest thing is I want to go walk over there, get up to the outfield, and take some of that ivy home.
Yep.
That's what I'm wanting to do.
Yeah.
Add some grass or some dirt or something. Maybe they'll let me on the field for a couple of minutes. I'll scoop up a mason jar full of dirt.
Yep.
And run off.
Yep.
That's one of the things.
You're probably
I'll probably get thrown in jail afterwards. But hey, I'd have my mason jar full of Wrigley Field dirt.
Yep. You're probably going to be really jealous of this, but I have an actual brick from Wrigley Field.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of that a while back, man. Yeah, I am jealous about that. I almost said, hey, Nick, you want to sell that brick? But I figured that'd be a dumb question.
Well, you can actually get them. I'll send you a link to where you can get them.
Yeah, definitely send me that. I might have to get a brick, no doubt about that, man. Yeah. That's amazing. It really is.
Especially now after they've won. I bought the brick before they won the series. Imagine how much they're worth now.
Oh yeah, man. They would be probably pretty high now.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the stuff went up. But I mean, that's to be expected.
Yeah. So, before I let you go, do you think it's going to be a good season for the Cubs?
I think so. The Chapman went back to the Yankees, which I don't know what happened with that, but he was one tough closer.
Yeah.
I know he had the home run against him and all that, but again, he was tired. But the answer to your question is this: I think if I could break out the sports almanac, I would look, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be in the postseason. There's no doubt about that. Now, baseball is a funny sport. The Marlins won it that year. They were the lowest paid team in baseball. So, it's kind of one of those things. It's not like football. And baseball is funny. You could go out and sweep a team, and the next week they sweep you, and they sweep you again the week after, and then all of a sudden you start. So, like I said, I think the Cubs will be back, and I do believe they're going to make a run. I think they'll be in the championship for sure. I would have to bet money on that.
Oh, like I said, as long as Theo and Joe are at the wheel.
Well, I tell you what, they're doing some good things in Chicago. I can tell you that. Like I said, those guys are light years ahead of me as far as knowledge and seeing. I mean, they've got some good scouts now, and they wheeling and dealing, man, and they getting these players, and I don't think that crew they got now is going anywhere for a long time. And then Schwarber will be back healthy this year. So, I mean, for what he's done, he came in the World Series and really hadn't seen any live baseball for months and months, and he just turned it right on up, so.
Yeah, no rehab or anything.
Yeah, well, I think he saw, if I'm not mistaken, he saw a 1,000 or so pitches off a batting machine, or 500, whatever the numbers were.
Yeah. I was talking about live pitching.
Excuse me, Nate, go ahead.
I was talking about live pitching, but yeah.
Yeah, he saw some pitches off the bat machine, but like I said, that's a whole other ball game. When you face a pitcher, and then you got the traditional wheel machine, but then you also have that arm machine that's got like a arm that swings all the way around, and it kind of just hurls it. It looks almost like a hand.
Yeah, yep.
That's the one we got by the house over here. I got a batting range right here in my backyard. Slugger's batting range here in Gonzales, Louisiana, and they got the ones with the little arms, and I can tell you that's a lot better than the wheels itself, So,
right.
So it kind of gives you somewhat of some arm motion, should I say?
Right on. Well, Justin, I got to let you go, but I really appreciate you calling in, man.
Nate, it's an honor for you to have me, man. It really is, and I appreciate you letting me talk about the foundation, and it's always a pleasure and an honor to speak to you, Nate, always.
All right, likewise. I'll talk to you later, man.
Yes, sir, Nate. Have a good day, buddy.
You too. Bye-bye.